Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a pick a card reading, and this time it will be about what energies will be leaving you for the month of, not for the month, for the year 2018. I decided to do this video because we are already in November, one more month, and the year will be over. Later on, I will also do a video to see what energies are coming into your life for 2019, but for now it is to see what energies are leaving you, or how was the year, kind of wrap up how the year has been for you. So I want you to take a deep breath and pick a color, the color that calls out more to you. We have the blue, like Dodgers blue, we have the red, and we have the white. So whichever one you feel drawn to, go down in the description box below. Like always, the timestamps will be listed down in the description box below, along with my personal email for personal readings. Thank you very much to all of you who have reached out for a personal reading. I am grateful for every single one of you, and I love sharing space with you guys. It's always an honor for me. So thank you very much. If you are ready, then let's get started. For blue, let's see what energies are leaving you for 2018. If anybody asks, this is the nail polish from KL Polish. She is a fellow YouTuber here. Her name is Kathleen Light, and this is in the peanut butter shade, because I always get asked what shade of my nails, so I'm gonna start doing that. This is the KL Polish peanut butter. So for those of you who picked blue, we have conception, inner self, and expansion. Okay. So it might have been a year in which you had to withdraw. You were kind of like a hermit mode. This has been very much like my year. You had to kind of get to know yourself a little bit more. Also with the conception, it might be that some of you might have conceived through the in this year. For some of you, I am getting though that the conception card is more, you had to take time for yourself to kind of plan ahead where you wanted to go in life. So that's the inner self. I feel like if you picked this color, you were called to kind of retreat and see in which direction you wanted your life to go. Direction, yeah, I was just speaking about that. Okay. So yes, definitely, that is what I am getting. That if you pick this deck, I feel like your year has been very much assessing where have you been and where you wanted to go. Were things that you were doing were working for you, and if they were not, you had to take that time away from social interaction to kind of evaluate where you wanted to go and what things didn't work for you and change them. And I feel also that this year you had to it was a year in which you were being shown which way to go. Either you changed directions, courses, okay, you changed the way your life was heading, or you just reaffirmed and you were like, yeah, this is the right path, I got everything down. Or maybe you had to tweak a little bit here and there where you wanted to go and where you wanted to be. And I feel like that also with the inner self is like you were called to expand your thinking. Therefore, some of you had to change your path or your direction in life. I'm also getting the timing here. I'm being drawn to that of you also this year had to really learn what was divine timing. I feel like if you picked option blue, you were very much like me, where you needed to, like, you knew where you wanted to go, because again, you changed, you did the inner work, you were like expanding. You're like, okay, I want to do this. Maybe you want to expand your studying, your business, whatever it is, and you wanted to do it and you were excited. But now spirit's like, okay, now you need to wait. There's that timing. So your patience may have been tested for those of you who picked option blue. Maybe you were called to learn the importance of timing. Maybe you had this year these moments of, that's why things happened the way they did, or that's why things happened now this way, and why didn't they happen sooner? So you were getting these like moments of enlightenment, but I feel like the way you were to reach those moments, or when you had those moments, where you took some time for your inner self, to listen to your inner self. And I feel like some of you, the conception is about that. You were learning when is the right time to move into this new direction in your life. And I feel like this energy of planning, of introspection, and of deciding which way you wanted to go, left or right, metaphorically speaking, I feel like that's now going away. I feel like in 2019, you will be able to move forward with that plan. But now 2018 was a year in which you just had to take some time off and be like, okay, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Where do I want to expand in life? And also learn the importance of divine timing and why things happen the way they do. Let's see what else we have here. We have, okay, so it says surrender, and I use these for this, but I'm gonna use them to my favor. So this is surrender to your intuition, tune into your inner voice, be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. So yes, I feel like 2018 was also a year in which you had to really work with your intuition. It was a year in which the only way for you to move forward in a new direction, or to see these aha moments, like I said, was in a space of self-contemplation, in a safe place, in a safe environment where you were able to really listen to your intuition and therefore get these aha moments. I'm also getting that some of you in 2018 also learned, I'm getting in a little bit harsh way, what happens when you don't listen to your intuition. And this is so bizarre, because if this reading seems very much like my 2018, because I feel like some of you, I'm gonna give you the example, and every time Spirit gives me an example, I love to share it. I know some people don't like it, but I personally like to share it because I feel like some people can relate to it, what I'm trying to say. So this card of some of you had to learn how to listen to your intuition in a harsh way would be, for example, what happened to me this year. I was gonna go out walking. I had my YouTube channel already. I was gonna go out walking, running, and in the middle of taking my left to go to the park, I literally stopped, and I was like, I should go home. But I was like, no, you know what? I want to go and walk. So I went to go walk. I went to the park, and my car got broken into. They broke my passenger back seat window. They took my wallet. They took my purse. I had to do everything, right? File everything, change, get a new ID. My passport was in there. So I had to report everything to the police and then take everything out. So that's what I'm saying. Some of you, and that's the moment when I was like, oh my gosh, I should have listened to my intuition. Because I literally had stopped and looked at the direction of my house, and I was like, I should go home. But I was like, no, you know what? No, I'm going to go to the park anyways. And I feel like some of you may have had moments like this where you were like, oh man, I should have listened to that little voice in my head. I knew it. I knew that was going to happen, and I didn't listen. So that's kind of what I'm getting for you guys, okay? And your tarot is the Six of Swords. Okay, so yeah, you were in a moment of transition. The Six of Swords usually is depicted with a person carrying a woman and a child in a boat, and they're going to safe shore, but they're in a transition. So I feel like, to me, what I am getting is the tarot cards are kind of like where you're headed for 2019, and this is kind of the energy of what 2018 was like and what is leaving. So I feel with the Six of Swords, it's kind of like you're leaving rocky waters behind and you're going into calmer waters. You're going towards your rainbow, so you can relax now. And also with the Six of Swords, there's also this important lesson of learning the lessons learned and carrying them with you to where you are going. So basically, know that in 2019, even though this is not the reading for that, but I'm being called to say it, is in 2019, remember, if you ever feel like your intuition is telling you something, listen to it. If you feel like you need to course correct something, or if things aren't happening the way you wanted them, it's because of divine timing. You have to surrender to that. There is a reason why things happen when they do and at the time that they do. And also know that it's important for you to take time for yourself, and always remain expansive. Always remain open to learning new things, new concepts, and remembering to take time for yourself. That's very important. It's coming up again. So with the Six of Swords is that you are leaving behind this moment of transition. Keep moving forward. I feel like 2019 will be a great year for those of you who picked blue. And what you are leaving behind, just to recap, is you're leaving behind this hermit mode and planning stage of where you wanted to go. And now it seemed like this was a matter of timing, and 2019 will be a better time for you to move forward with whatever it is that you want to conceive metaphorically. And always listen to your intuition and remember that lesson through 2019. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope that resonated. It was a pleasure reading the cards for you. And now to option red. I feel like I can't speak today for some reason. I feel like my mouth is like going 10,000 words per minute. So for option red, such a beautiful color. I love red. So we have red here. Let's see, what energies are you leaving behind for 2018? Snake, rebirth, release, and integration. Okay. This is reminding me a lot of I lost the Temperance card. There we go. The integration. I got the image of the Temperance card. So it might have been that 2018 has been a year in which you had some type of transformation. And I feel like this is a rebirth of yourself. Not so much, I feel like this is an internal rebirth, not so much an external. By that, I mean, it's not that you were changed, like things around you were changing. This is more kind of like you learning who you are, what needed to be shed, and what you needed to keep. Also, for some of you, I feel like this goes hand in hand, that 2018 may have been a year in which you had to do a lot of releasing, whether this is old habits, old beliefs, people in your life, or even jobs that were not serving you. I also feel with the integration is kind of like what I said with Temperance, is you had to learn how to integrate certain things that you weren't used to working with. That's the word that I am getting. Also, what I am getting with the integration is you had to also work with and integrate qualities of yourself that you did not like and that were brought to your attention in 2018 in order for you to release the ones that were not serving you, but also integrate those things that did serve you and that are helping you to move forward, therefore have this rebirth. Also with the snake, I also associate a lot the snake with healing. So 2018 may have been a year in which you were called to heal, whether this is relationships for some of you. I am getting very clearly, very strongly. For others of you, I'm also hearing healing aspects of yourself that I'm also getting you did not like these things of yourself. So if you consider yourself a greedy person, it's kind of like you were put in situations in where this quality in you will come out in order for you to forgive and be like, okay, we're all greedy in some point of our lives. It's okay. Kind of like that. That's kind of what I am getting. The dragonfly, definitely transformation, how I was saying, magic and illusion. So I feel too with this rebirth, it's like you were being called in 2018 and still may be in this process of rebirthing who you are, but also releasing the illusions of yourself. Because I feel like sometimes we get trapped in this illusion in ourselves that we're not good enough, that we are not sufficient, that we are bad people, that we're not smart, we're not beautiful, things like this. So I feel like if you picked option red for 2018, these things, these illusions were being brought up to your attention in 2018 in order to release them, and some of them to integrate them and be like, you know what, they're not so bad. Everything serves a purpose, good and bad. That's what makes it a whole. Okay, so I feel like 2018 for some of you was learning to love these qualities in yourself that you didn't like. For others of you, it was about releasing the illusions of whatever, whether this is in a relationship. Maybe you were holding on to the illusion that this person was the one, and all of a sudden you got this moment of like, this was just an illusion. This person is not the one. You were looking at this person with pink colored glasses. And now you were able to release that and then have this rebirth in yourself, right? You were able to transform. For some of you, it could literally be a transformation on the outside, a transformation in a relationship for some of you. But I'm mostly picking up an inner self, okay? Surrender to miracles. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. And for some of you, I feel like you were also releasing the illusion of that you had to be special in order for the universe to help you. I don't know why I'm getting that, and that sounds so bizarre because we are all worthy of the universe's help, or the angels' help, or God's help, whomever you resonate with, whatever energy it is that you resonate with. And I feel like 2018 was a year in which, like, again, like I said, you felt like you were not worthy of something. And maybe you got this miracle in 2018 that you're like, whoa, I thought I wasn't worthy of this. So you had to work on your self-worth and therefore shatter the illusion and create magic in your life. Right? Maybe in 2018 you just had this like integrate these things that were not, that you deemed as bad, and work with them in your favor. I'm also getting like you had to kind of be a shapeshifter, okay? That's kind of what I'm getting, because the dragonfly starts out in water and then goes into land, right? So is shapeshifts. Sorry, my verbs. It shape shifts, and so the snake sheds a skin. So I'm feeling like there is this sense of you having to take on more than one role or switch back and forth into something in 2018. I'm feeling like you had in 2018, what you are learning is you had to work with aspects of yourself, again, the integration part that you didn't even know you had, or you knew you had, but you thought they were bad, and now they were called for you to work with them, and you're like, oh, you know what? They're not so bad. They actually serve a purpose. Okay? That's kind of what I am getting. But what's leaving your energy for 2018 is this sense of rebirth. So you already are going through this rebirth. In 2019, you're going to see the kind of last transformation of this rebirth. You're going to see the final product. Let's put it that way, for lack of a better word. In 2018, you're leaving this kind of like assessing what needs to be released, what you need to integrate in your life, what needs transforming in your life, what magic can you create. That's the energy that is leaving. And let's see if we can get a little bit of a peekaboo for 2019. Is the Eight of Swords, which actually it's very much so appropriate for the reading, because this is kind of like where you were going through, right? This transformation, and the butterfly really emphasizes this for me, because it seems like you're finally gonna in 2019 come out of this cocoon. You're gonna see how a beautiful butterfly you are, and you're gonna be able to fly. And I feel, kind of like what I'm getting kind of like this energy of 2018 was a year in which you felt like you had to kind of drag your feet to get things done. And like it's been a harsh year of self-transformation. And you felt there were these moments in your life which I feel like some of you had to transform your thoughts and your beliefs, because they kept you in this kind of like toxic environment, kept you trapped in something. But I feel like that was the purpose of 2018, for you to realize this and to transform them in Ooh. in order for you to break free from the cocoon and spread your wings, okay? For 2019, you will spread your wings. You will leave this hermit-like mode. It's very similar to option 1, except yours is all about rebirth and releasing and integrating. And theirs is different. But you will be able to fly. And you will be able to see that you are the magician of your life. You can create magic and miracles in your life. But you had to release these things and have a rebirth of yourself to see your true potential. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys. Option 3. Oh, my allergies. So those of you who picked option 1. Oh God. Okay, so someone needed to hear 1, or if you watched option 1, it may be very much linked to this third option. Okay, because that was just channeled. I did not option 1. If you picked color white, let's see what we have. What energies are you leaving for 2018? Problem solving, resolution. Okay, so there might have been 2018 might have been a year in which you had a major problem that you needed to solve. Or there was a lot of problems that required your attention in order for you to solve them. Okay? Winter, reflection, transition, release. Okay, so they're all very similar. All 3 options are very similar. Except they all have this kind of like reflection, transition, and that's why it's very much linked to option 1, because option 1, I said that their 2008 was very much a year of transition, and your year was very similar too. We have transition here and reflection, which option 1 also had it. So if you feel drawn to watching option 1, go ahead and do so. But what I am getting just off of this is it might have been a year in which you had to be alone. You were called to take a step back in order to solve some major problem in your life. Or it could have been, like I said, a year in which you had several problems come up for you. And I feel like these are big problems, and not like in the sense of like they're huge problems. I mean big problems in the sense of like they're problems that if you didn't address right now, they were going to cause chaos down the line. Okay, so there were problems that you needed to address. They were not kind of like little small problems here and there. No, I feel like these are things that if you did not address, they would affect your foundation. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. With the winter here, it's telling me that 2018 for you was a year of a lot of reflection. Okay, a lot of thinking, a lot of solitude, being called away from, I'm getting being in the spotlight. Like you didn't want to be disturbed, you wanted to be alone. Where in option 1, it was more of like they were called to. They had no other option. But for you, I feel like you took that choice. You were like, I want to be alone. There is this problem that I need to fix, and in order for me to do that is for me to be alone. Also with the transition here, I feel like you very much 2018 is a year of transition, which is like option 1, which is telling me that this year 2018 is very much bridged with 2019. So I feel like there's a correlation, and you're going to see in 2019 why these things had to be released, the things that you had to release this year or that were called for you to be released. You're going to see in 2019 why you had to let them go, or why these problems needed to be solved now. Okay? It may be, for example, I'm trying to give you an example. Oh God, I can't come up with one. Okay, for example, let's say you were in a class and then you go to your counselor and they tell you, oh, you need to take this prerequisite class. And you're like, but I could take that later down when I graduate. And then you're like, oh, the counselors are like, no, just do it. You need it or whatever. And you're forced to take it. You're forced to solve that problem to take it. And then let's say in 2019, this opportunity pops up and you needed that requirement that you had to do and that you took the time to do it. So it kind of, you see how it plays a role now, because you did that back then, even though it was a problem for you. Now you're able to take on this new opportunity because you addressed that problem. I know there's better examples of that, but that's just what came to my head. So maybe some of you are dealing with courses in college. They always change what prerequisites you need, what post-requisites you need. And so maybe some of you are going through that. I've been through university too, and it's a hassle. So maybe that's what you were called for, and maybe that's what you will realize in 2019. Surrender to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling. During both the hard and easy times, keep surrendering the more joy. So I feel like 2018 was a year that was very hard, and I kept saying that there were problems. May have been a year in which you had to address certain things, and maybe they were easy, maybe not so much. Maybe they were just time consuming, or they were just like things that annoy you, right? You're like, oh, I had to deal with that again. But I feel like now you're dealing with them for good. That's the word that Spirit gave me. They're done and for good. Like you won't have to deal with this situation again. But I feel like 2018 was also a year in which you needed to kind of find the good things, even though you were having bad problems. Like you had to find the joy in the situation. And that is something that I have a hard time with. I'm a workaholic. Not an easy thing to say, but it's very true. It's very hard for me to rest. And maybe some of you, I don't know why I'm being compelled to share it, but maybe some of you have this problem too in 2018. Maybe that was a problem that you needed to solve, was for you, how do you nurture yourself? How do you take care of yourself? And for some of you, is to take a step back and take a time to reflect and find joy in your everyday things, okay? Find the happiness, find everything to be grateful for. Even when we're dealing with difficult things, there's always something to be grateful for. And your tarot, the 10 of Cups. So the tarot card also serves as kind of like a peekaboo for 2019. So we have the 10 of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment. It is happy family. It is just being content, good relationships. And I feel that's what I said, like whatever problems that you were solving, maybe for some of you had to deal with family and friends, that you were called to resolve these problems. Like Spirit is telling you, don't worry. This change is a positive thing. It was a key thing in order for you to have this in 2019, the 10 of Cups. So that's what I'm feeling for you guys for option white, or option number 3. I wish you guys the best, and stay tuned, because down the line I will be doing what are the energies that are coming for you in 2019. But so far you got a little peekaboo here. I wish you guys the best, and take care. Bye.